Hello and welcome to my channel. So here's my thing today. It crossed my mind that I started therapy to heal, to become a better human being, and I somewhere along this way I realized that I don't exist. Classic. And today I just want to share my thoughts about how these two different paths, and I'm talking about therapy, behavioral therapy, and non-duality live within me, and what's my thoughts about it. So what's my narrative? Something in dual perspective. So behavioral cognitive therapy and non-duality. Therapy kind of teaches you how to survive being a human or how to live and how to be a human, while non-duality tells you that you are not human at all. So stay with me and I'll um, expand on these thoughts a bit more. And please share your experience if you also thought about this at some point. So let's start with therapy. So it's like an emotional martial arts that we learn. Like we find our sensei, our teacher, and sensei gives you tools how to manage the issues in your life. They listen to you. They teach you how to regulate emotions, and you are much better in handling this. We need to talk situations. Therapy is basically for four things: for mindfulness, for emotional regulation, for tolerating distress, and being an effective interpersonal effectiveness. It's especially helpful for people with emotional dysregulation problems like myself, like people who are people pleasers, people who don't manage their anger really well, or any flavor of chaos that we humans can come up with. And the whole vibe of therapy usually is like, you matter and I'm going to hold space for you and your suffering is valid, but here's the thing what you can do. And it gives you a recipe, it gives you a narrative, it gives you a structure of how things must be changed. So it helps to rebuild the narrative that you've already had in your head since the childhood. That's because we all know. Let's talk about your childhood story. In short, it just reprograms you because we are biological machines that the trauma is stored in our bodies, and you are rewriting these whole things with therapy. So healing is about being human so the human can function better, and therapy gives this stable identity to a person, and it helps to learn what the emotions are called. But the words and these narratives is just the messages, it's not the essence itself. After therapy we learn that we need to breathe in, we need to hold on, we need to hold space for ourselves. It's very practical, it's very powerful, but it's energy consuming to maintain any kind of story, while non-duality just tells you all your stories are practically bullshit, you don't exist. uh, it doesn't want you to heal. In the non-dual approach, you don't want to heal, you want to understand that your story was never existent in the first place. It doesn't ask you how to fix the story, it tells you who is the one who needs the fix, who is that who is experiencing that problem right now. And in duality there is no self to improve. There is no timeline because there is no past and no future. There is no inner child. There is just awareness and just the present moment, just being, just now. So while therapy builds a healthy self, in other words, it builds a healthy ego, non duality tells you that's just a ghost. It's just another story, but just much more functioning in society. From non-duality lens, therapy is just this another program that we install in our minds, and the way that works well in society, because society, you know, conditions us to hold the identity. It helps the ego to grow up and function in a healthy way in the current society. It feels more connected, build up the social network. Identity that you build one is the social acceptable one. So yeah, it kind of helps to maintain capitalism, relationship, like all these things that we complain. But at some point, that story starts to feel tight, and at least for me, it started to feeling tight. And what's your trauma? What's your what? Let's talk about your childhood thing. From non-duality perspective, is still a part of the dream. It's still a part of self improvement dream inside of an illusion that you are a person. That can be beautiful too, but it's not the end of the road. We don't have to limit ourselves to the two, to one of these approaches. Behavioral therapy or any therapy teaches mindfulness as a practice, and non-duality reveals that mindfulness as your true nature. So both bring you presence. You have to be present in the moment. It's just the therapy talks about the past all the time, and the non-duality is only about now. So both are actually powerful because it brings you to the existence, to now. Therapy is all about feel it, name it, regulate it. Non-duality is just it comes and goes. It's clouds in the sky. Therapy helps you to build the house. Non-duality tells you that you are not the house, you are the space within this house. And what I want to say is that in the beginning, we all need structure. We can't just go straight into non-duality. If a person can't realize that they are being rude or they are being unreasonable towards their closed ones, family members or friends, it's and they still don't want to look inside themselves, it's a bit too early to look into non-duality. A person has to work on um, behavioral therapy, through the behavioral therapy, to build this healthier ego, just to realize that this ego is also a fairy tale, but it's the one that is easy to let go of. About this, we all need to start healing. We all need it, and we all a bit raw or a bit emotional lost. And therapy is something that onsets us on this road. And therapy helped me to stabilize. Um, I was struggling to name my emotions too. I learned to speak up. I learned to trust and open up in front of someone. But then this deeper seeing comes that you're not just broken, you identify with being broken. And the pain was real, but the me that was in the pain, it was just a thought. And the echo of the past, the echo of the story that was I was telling to myself. And it's just my friend told me, you are not your emotions. And it came to me like that. Oh my God, yes, I'm the one seeing those emotions. And it's that moment when you can realize knowing things and experiencing things is such a different story. I started watching my thoughts instead of becoming them. And we all can, at a certain level of awareness, we can all start watching what's going on in our head. And uh, paradoxically, we can't do anything about it. Of course, therapy teaches you to take account of your life as a human being, because from therapy perspective, and it's a very Western point of view too, that you actually can change things. But the paradox of our lives are is that we can't change anything. At the same time, we can change everything. It just depends where you are, and if we learn how to live in this paradoxical world, then this will make us this will give us ease, smooth transition through our lives. So therapy is beautiful. It can save our lives. It can give us self-worth when we don't have one. But eventually it may also start to feel like a cage, like you're like rehearsing the character, especially on the later stage, and like you keep your story alive and you just keep improving and twitching here and there. So non-duality is its ultimate freedom, but this freedom can be very terrifying until you are ready. And because when there is no story, there is no identity to protect, and especially from a Westerner point of view, identity is all we have. These stories, our professions, the minds, the your travels, your family, your titles is everything that you have. But eventually, we are not our stories, we are not our identities. We don't have anything to hold on to. And It can feel like death. It does feel like death. So we can walk both paths if we want to, and we don't have to choose. The paradox, the non-duality thing, let both things happen. Just we are we should remember that we are not our pain, we are not our healing, we are not the one who heals, we are not the backstory, we are the awareness that is everywhere, that has always been there, that has always been enlightened, and it's going to be this way. And it's more than enough. This is more than enough. Thank you. And please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. What's your past? What's your experience? Thank you for watching till the end, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.